The top tips when considering permanent hair reduction is always to do your research before you buy. Look at all the information you can, go online and do some research, that's always very good. Look under permanent hair reduction and just see what is available. Always check for the correct skin tone. Whether your skin tone is suitable is really important before you buy. Make sure the system that you buy actually can work well with your skin tone. That's a really important tip. Always buy a white pencil. A white kohl pencil is really a good asset. You need to make sure it's white. Do not be tempted to use your lippy pencil or your eyebrow. That's really important. A white pencil will reflect the light. It will not absorb the light. And this one is really a good one. It just works very simply by marking the skin. Very good tip for when you're doing larger areas, so you can grid down to usable sizes. You will need to trim or cut the hair to skin level. This will enable a better treatment and focus the energy going right to the root. My recommendation is, in fact, use a razor. Now, the razor you want to use is not necessarily a razor that your partner, your husband will use, because that will pull the hair out too much. We want it to just skim across the area, and a small razor such as this, which has 1 or 2 blades, will do the job perfectly. If you're going to be working on the facial area, a lot of ladies will not want to be using a razor. They find that too harsh. It's not really what they want to do. May I recommend that you consider using a trimmer? This is a little beauty trimmer, and it has a very, very fine blade along there, and you can just trim the areas that you want. It's very successful. You can keep it in your handbag. It works really, really well, and it will get the hair to the level you want it to be, which is just above the surface of the skin. A really good tip is to when applying the gel, which you should keep in the refrigerator because that will keep it nice and cool, keep the skin cool as well. Don't put it into the freezer because that will encourage ice particles, which will deflect the light. We don't want that. Is to use a lolly stick or a spatula, something similar to this. And what you do is you apply the gel either directly onto the skin or onto the spatula, and you just apply a nice thick layer. Imagine a really nice thick layer of butter on your bread. That's really good. And then you can actually see where you've been when you're using the device. And once you've treated the area, all you do is to use your spatula again to remove the gel and discard like so. A particularly good tip, and proper application is really important to ensure that you do not create an adverse reaction. So you need good layer of gel for that one. When you are doing large areas such as the arms or the legs or any large area, it's always a good idea to use a white pencil. I mentioned this earlier, and you can actually create a grid. And by doing so, all you do is you actually would create a square of where you're going to work by using the white pencil, and just section it into usable size areas. This will enable you to actually stop if you need to. You will also see where you've been. You can apply the gel and just work on one area at a time. By actually having the grid, it will just enable you to see where you've been. And if you want to break off and go make a cup of tea because you find the area that you're treating is quite substantial, once you've actually treated that area, you'll be able to just move on to the next area. So you would then remove that and then apply the gel on the next area. It's as simple as that. Do remember to use a white pencil, not a coloured one. This is really important. And you can just move from area to area. So the gridding is really important for large areas. Definitely a very good tip to have. When you've completed your treatment, it's always a good idea to use an aftercare cream, a soothing cream that will calm and soothe the area and generally moisturise, making your skin feel soft and supple. As an aftercare precaution, again, you should not go into the sunlight or expose the area that you've treated to UV light. That includes a sunbed, and we do recommend that you don't use self-tan products either pre or post-treatment. Allow 30 days before and 30 days after, before exposing the area that you've treated to UV light. As the treatments progress, you will only really need to treat the areas where you see hair regrowth. It's as simple as that.